Alright guys, we're here with the last bit of my death metal collection. Say hi, Jesse. It's my dog. It's Jesse. I have melodic death metal, deathcore, and grindcore, I guess. Grindcore, I guess. Hang on, let me turn this down. It's a little bit loud. Alright, well, what we're listening to is Demons and Wizards by Uriah Heep. So, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to cut right into it. This is first one. The only thing owned by this band, but I like this band quite a bit. It's Sort of Rising by Mano Marks. Mano Marks is just Viking-themed melodic death metal. I'm sure everybody and their mother knows about them. Because, yeah. It's a really weird version of it. It's from like a library. I don't know. It's very, very weird. But yeah, it's a good song, or a good one. It's got songs Slaves of Fear, Destroyer of the Universe, Doom Over Dead Man, War of the Gods. Great stuff. Awesome album. I'd check out Mano Marks if you haven't done so somehow. Next is probably my favorite melodic death metal band, and definitely one of my favorite death metal bands. This is the Black Dahlia Murder with their debut album, Unhallowed. Another huge band with a really big crack in the case, which is pissing me off. But yeah, the first song that's real on here is Funeral Thirst, and that's one of my favorite Black Dahlia Murder songs. This is actually my favorite for the longest time in their discography. It's just raw and it's aggressive, and I like that a lot. Especially with a band whose style is like this, you know, Elder Misanthropy and Funeral Thirst, and Close Casket Requiem, Hymns for the Wretched, stuff like that. Very, very cool. Very thrashy, more aggressive than their other stuff. Next, second album, Miasma. Probably the worst album cover in most of death metal, period. Why it is that they chose this is beyond me. Equally terrible covers on the inside, but yeah, this has got a bunch of great songs on it. You know, it's got Sagittary Ape, everybody knows that one. Spite Suicide, Death Goes to Hollywood, I'm Charming, Flies, stuff like that, Novelty Crosses. It's a really good album. Yeah, it's not much to say. They started coming to their own a little bit more. Less thrashy, more aggressive, catchier music, everything. Great album. And next is the last one by that band, but my favorite album for sure, and I'm sure you can figure out what it is. It's Everblack by the Black Dahlia Murder. So cool album covers, everything. Really cool disc. The best lineup, in my opinion, of the Black Dahlia Murder here. Yeah, it's got In Hell Is Where She Waits for Me, Goat of Departure, Into the Everblack, Raped in Hatred by Vines of Thorn, Phantom Limb Masturbation. I literally just read the first 5 off, and they're my favorite. The Phantom Limb Masturbation is my favorite Black Dahlia Murder song. So this album is super cool. Look at the album cover. That's so cool. Love this album. Next is a Finnish melodic death metal band that mixes power metal and stuff. Are You Dead Yet by the Children of Bodom. Very cool band. Not a band that I obsess over or anything, but they write cool stuff, and I like that about them. Lots of keyboard work. Weird. Yeah, it's a really good album. The first song I heard by them is Living Deadbeat, and that's the opening track to this album. And then they have a Ramones cover of Somebody Put Something in My Drink, and it's a great album. Children of Bodom. Check them out if you haven't. Next is something I didn't order, but I got it for free when I ordered from CDN Records. This is Dark Adaptation with the Amnion Power EP, I think it is. It's like melodic death metal, metalcore kind of thing. It's really cool. They're from California, I think. I don't know exactly. But yeah, if you like newer At the Gates, I could see you digging this. like Clayman era In Flames. You can dig this. So yeah, Amnion by Dark Adaptation. Next is a band that took me forever to get into because it just took me forever to get stuff. This is Agony by Flesh God Apocalypse. I love the album cover. They have really awesome art. Very strange style, symphonic, melodic death metal. Not much sounds like this other than I would say maybe Septic Flesh, but they're more based in the technicality, I would say. And it's, that style doesn't appeal to me very much. But this is a great album. I don't know a lot about this one, but it's, from what I've heard, I like it a lot. It's the only one that I own, so Flesh God Apocalypse with Agony. Next, I just compared to this album. And I don't like this album at all, but this is Clayman by In Flames. I don't like this band. I don't know why, I just don't. Everything from like Horrified and before is alright, but everything after is bad, including this. I don't like this album, so I'm not going to yammer on about it, but I'll show it to you. In Flames. Nothing cool for me. Next is a band featuring George Fisher on vocals from Cannibal Corpse. Promises and Blood by Paths of Possession. Very cool album. Basically like Slaughter the Soul kind of music with George on vocals. Those the guys right there. Yeah, it's brutal dudes. I don't recognize any of the names, and I know that they're from other bands. Jack Goodwin's from something, and I can't think of it. But yeah, Paths of Possession. Great melodic death metal with Corpse Grinder on vocals. Next is the first one of my deathcore. Next one is a band called Calculate. I didn't order this, and it just kind of came with my CD and record thing again, with the album Apotheosis. Apotheosis is my band's name. Had nothing to do with this, but kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad deathcore at all, actually. Very swaggy human beings make this. Very tormented-looking artwork. You know, very dystopian, post-apocalyptic. Super brutal. Very cool, though. Yeah, check this out if you like deathcore. Calculate with the album Apotheosis. Next, tech deathcore, I guess. Miguel Cayenne by Rings of Saturn. Everybody knows this one. Rings of Saturn has definitely made a name for themselves, playing crazy stuff. And yeah, it's just a lot of cool artwork, lots of wankery. Nothing that I listen to all the time, but it's cool when I'm in the mood for this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's Legal Cayenne by Rings of Saturn. This is the debut album by a band that is no longer any good. Their debut EP. This is Suicide Silence with Suicide Silence. Apparently this is a little bit hard to get a hold of. But yeah, it's cool. It's got about a plane crash on it. Destruction of a statue live. And stuff like that. Swarm. I picked this up for like $6. It was cool. It's really brutal in comparison to like other stuff. Their new stuff is terrible. I don't like the new album, and You Can't Stop Me is alright. But yeah, debut EP. If you think Suicide Silence is terrible, check this out. It's way heavier. Next, this is super catchy, kind of mainstream deathcore, I guess. This is the Black Crown. It's got Slave to the Substance, OCD, You Only Live Once, Cross-Eyed Catastrophe, stuff like that. Witness the Addiction, just all kinds of stuff. Everybody knows this album who's in any kind of deathcore. It's all shiny. I don't like that. See, I don't know. But yeah, this is probably, I guess you could say, my favorite Suicide Silence album, because it's the one that I've listened to the most. But yeah, this is Black Crown. Next, it's a band that I have a shirt off on. Whitechapel with the Somatic Defilement. Favorite Whitechapel album for sure. Heaviest, most brutal by miles. Out on Candlelight Records, 2007. I think it's their debut, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, it's a really heavy album. I really love this album. This is just ridiculously heavy. Like, stupid heavy. Love it. Everybody's heard it though. So, Whitechapel, Somatic Defilement. Next is My Grind. This is a band that I heard the name of on Spotify and I thought it was ridiculous. So this is Universal Goat Tilt by Buckshot Facelift. Band is ridiculous name. It's just straightforward grindcore. Half of it on the CD. I don't know why I keep yawning. You guys right there. Yeah, this is a good album. If you're into grind, I don't listen to much grind. Old logo, I'm assuming, which is not very good. But yeah, Buckshot Facelift. If you like grindcore, check it out. Next is a terrible pressing of a great album. This is Recapitulation by Carcass. I have the censored one. I got it from a friend who got it from Goodwill, so I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah, it's the pinnacle of gore grind. Everybody's heard it. So yeah, that's it. That's this one. I don't own any other Carcass, so sorry. Next is a band that's great, but this is another Goodwill find. Slaughter Cult by Exhumed. Why is this a Goodwill? Is my first question. It's nuts. Matt Harvey is also in Gruesome, that death worship band. And this is the limited Saw Blade edition. Very cool, very gory. The only thing that sucks is you can't really play it on most players. A couple of them that I own you can, but that's what doesn't get much listen, so. Yeah, this is Slaughter Cult by Exhumed. Next is the debut album that blew me away that I didn't know Lee Dorian did the vocals on. This is Scum by Napalm Death. Yeah, apparently Lee Dorian from Cathedral did the vocals on this, and that blew my mind to hear that one. Collection of pictures. Yeah, just a classic grindcore album. I never noticed all this stuff that was on the front cover. Very cool, but yeah, like 6 trillion songs. 56 to be exact. Yeah, grindcore. Next is their newest album. Apex Predator Easy Meat. Everybody talked about it, you know. Got the carrot hand, the empty plastic container, and the shovel head. Goofy stuff. Everybody talked about it already, so I don't need to. It's cool, nothing crazy. Grind isn't my thing, so. And the last one is Horrified by Repulsion. Great album. I really, really like this. This is actually probably my favorite grind album that I own, or Exhumed Slaughter Cult. I'm a big fan of this one. There's the Repulsion CD, and then the second one is a bunch of demos from 1984 through 1991. Great album. Everybody knows this one. I see people wear these shirts all the time. It's a cool album, so check out Repulsion if you haven't. Very death metal based grindcore, but it's not like, I guess you could call it death grind, but yeah, it's really good. So yeah, if you haven't heard any of it, check it out. So that's it, guys. Check you later. Keep it greasy.